PlayStation 2 was a revolutionary console. It was a platform where Goliaths like Grand Theft Auto really came into their own, and where timeless art pieces like Shadow of the Colossus were able to thrive. 2.5 decades later, it remains the best-selling console of all time for a reason. This was a place where magic truly happened. For the PS2's 25th anniversary, we're looking back at the games that made this console truly iconic. These are the games that pushed the technological and cultural boundaries of the era, becoming unforgettable experiences that still hold up today. From toe-tapping jam sessions to city-crossing crime epics, these are the 25 best PlayStation 2 games. The original Guitar Hero may have changed party games for the next decade, but Guitar Hero 2 was the series at its best. It was developed at a time when the core concept of the series was bitchin' rock metal tracks that are fun to play on a plastic guitar and not fun karaoke songs that sort of also maybe have guitars in them, maybe. Guitar Hero 2 was also the last game in the rhythm action genre to come out before every music publisher realized how much money there was in it, so Harmonix had its absolute pick of songs. You have Suicidal Tendencies, Megadeth, Danzig, The Rolling Stones, Iron Maiden, Iggy and the Stooges, you name it, it's in there, and it rocks.
Why does stuff like this always happen when I'm running late?
Years before the Rocksteady Batman Arkham and Insomniac Marvel Spider-Man games, the prospect of a successful comic book game was bleak. Even rarer was the thought of a genuinely fun movie tie-in. Treyarch's Spider-Man 2, based on the Sam Raimi film of the same name, flew in the face of both those ideas. An incredibly detailed New York City, for the time at least, felt like a revelation to swing around in, and Peter Parker's web-slinging provided a whole new way to explore the sort of 3D open world that PS2's Grand Theft Auto games had pioneered. In a legitimately impressive technological revelation, Treyarch Spidey actually attached his webs to buildings rather than empty skyboxes. Flying between skyscrapers and thumping petty criminals was a thrilling sensation back in 2004, and while it has since been far eclipsed by more modern Peter Parker and Miles Morales adventures, it certainly paved the way for those to exist.
Sorry to leave you hanging, Rhino, but I don't want to be accused of poaching.
Soul Calibur 2 broke free of its predecessor's Dreamcast confines and leapt onto multiple platforms when it arrived in 2002. Yes, the GameCube version, complete with Link as its guest character, may well be the best remembered, but that shouldn't detract from the PS2 version infused with Tekken's Heihachi from being considered just as fun. One of the console's very best fighting games, its blade-based, one-on-one action has rarely been bettered to this day.
Ready?
The definitive way to play Persona 3 until 2024's Reload arrived, FES enhanced an already very good RPG and even added its almost essential final chapter, The Answer. The series' signature combination of school-set social sim hangouts with turn-based battling in its interdimensional shadow world provided an engaging gameplay loop that has fueled Persona to this day. But it's the characters and stories that fans always hold dearest, and 3 certainly doesn't come short in either of these departments, with the mystery of the world-threatening midnight hour that twists and turns all the way up until a final choice that defines the destiny of humanity itself. Oh, and you get to hang out with a very good Shiba Inu called Koromaru.
What? What is this thing?
Kingdom Hearts 2 is a prime example of how sequels can improve upon their predecessor. While we certainly recommend playing the first game before the second for the full effect, Kingdom Hearts 2 offers the series' best combat thanks to a mix of magic, its signature Keyblade, different form states for protagonist Sora, and more. Its exploration of the mythology offers satisfying depth to ideas and characters introduced in the first game, even despite its pretty long intro section. Kingdom Hearts 2 might not be the very best starting point, but every facet from its world design to its story to its combat is emblematic of why so many Disney, Final Fantasy, and Zipper fans have fallen in love with the Kingdom Hearts games. When it comes to the history of console multiplayer, tales of GoldenEye on Nintendo 64 and Halo on Xbox dominate the split-screen conversation. But PlayStation 2 had its own FPS king that deserves as much respect. Timesplitters 2 was the essential PS2 shooter and almost certainly the reason anyone owned the 4-player multi-tap peripheral. Its arcade mode provided match after match of exciting showdowns made all the more thrilling and esoteric by the maps and weapons that were pooled from a whole host of different time periods and genres. The Ratchet and Clank series was exceptional from the start, serving up lovable characters, galaxy-spanning stories, and loads of wacky weapons. The third installment, Up Your Arsenal, was the biggest yet, with a mountain of new gadgets and minigames alongside one of the most ambitious online modes ever seen on console at the time. What other game lets you use a suck cannon to turn an army of enemies into bolts? That's just good, clean fun, although a suck cannon doesn't sound clean.
That was terrific.
Yeah, great.
All right, our own Peacemaker. Now we're rocking.
A unique entry in Naughty Dog's series, Jak 2 reinvents itself without losing what made the original Jak and Daxter fantastic, which is to say, it still has the charm of a detailed and diverse environments inhabited by a lively cast of characters and excellent platforming to tie it all together. This sequel takes a dynamic duo from the colorful world of Sandover Village to the seedy underbelly of Haven City, and with this change came new combat, new exploration mechanics, and a story with far more intrigue, twists, and dynamic characterization than what came before. While the gunplay and carjacking and hoverboarding were a new addition to the series, physical combat still plays a huge role, and the introduction of Dark Jak made for the ultimate power fantasy that kept evolving over time. Jak 2 is a satisfying and thrilling adventure that stands out as the best of this iconic trilogy. For a game that is designed almost entirely around the escort mission, which are almost universally reviled even back in 2001, Ico is nothing short of amazing. Part of that success is due to the quality of its puzzles, but just as important is how Ico develops the bond between its two main characters. It conveys a deep, personal connection not through dialogue, but through the simple act of navigating through its labyrinthine castle together. It's one of the finest examples of minimalist storytelling to date, not to mention an excellent showcase of how to tell stories in a way that only video games can. Your favorite Tony Hawk game is likely determined by the exact age you were when you first tried ollieing over a ludicrous scrap or racking up stupidly high manual-based combos. Each of the first 4 pro skaters has a claim to the throne, and even underground if you happen to be a deviant like myself who wants to get off their board. But we've gone with the excellent Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 as our pick here. Whether grinding around its sun-bleached cruise ship, dodging snow-covered firs of Canada, or embracing the downhill chaos of the airport, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 arguably has the best set of maps found in any single entry of the series. Throw in one of its signature punk-fueled soundtracks to mix, and you got a PS2 game that could, and did, keep us entertained for whole summers at a time. Criterion's Burnout 3 Takedown looked at what Polyphony was doing with the simulation racing in Gran Turismo and took things as far to the other end of the scale as possible. With just as much heavy emphasis placed in ramming into your rivals as speeding past them, driving games have rarely been as fun as they were in Takedown on the PS2. And that's without even mentioning Crash Mode, an all-timer of a mode designed around creating the biggest wrecks possible.
Do you think I felt regret as I gazed upon the destruction we had wrought?
Prince of Persia: The Sand of Time's chronology warping mechanics were incredibly novel back in 2003, helping cement it as an instant PS2 classic and signaling a return to popularity for a series that had been left in the 2D era. But while Sands of Time's natural approach formed the bedrock of a fantastic action-adventure, the game as a whole is more significant for being the foundation of Ubisoft's modern-day success. While Sands of Time received a number of direct follow-ups, ideas for a proposed Prince of Persia sequel eventually morphed into what would become Assassin's Creed.
This party's getting crazy. Let's rock.
Devil May Cry 3 is not only one of the most influential action games of all time, it is, quite simply, one of the best ever. Even just on its most basic levels, Devil May Cry 3 offers up challenging but rewarding combat, an excellent story of dark and twisted familial bonds, and some of the most downright entertaining cutscenes you'll find. Going deeper though, you'd be hard-pressed to find a combat system with a higher skill ceiling, or one that allows far more creativity than Devil May Cry 3's.
Sorry, not open for business yet.
Katamari Damacy is absurd chaos in the best possible way. It's the simplest mechanical concept you can find. You push your ball to roll things up and get real big, combined with the wildest layer of paint imaginable. This non-stop parade of ridiculous scenarios and hilarious sights is a joy not only for how silly it all is, but because it's also endlessly optimistic the whole way through. And while the rolling may be simple, that mechanical core is genuinely so much fun that Katamari Damacy immediately rolled up into people's hearts and still hasn't let go over 2 decades later.
You excel at causing trouble, and I excel at fixing little boys like you.
Bully is a game where you fight back against bullying, build social networks that connect various insular groups, and where you are, in fact, punished for not attending class. With a charming coming-of-age story that modernizes classic themes without necessarily going full Rushmore on you, Bully manages to be smart and funny, exhibiting the biting satire Rockstar is known for, while also debuting a streamlined progression system and a satisfying crunch to its combat that raised the bar for the studio's games going forward. The PS2 era of God of War was a completely different proposition from its character-focused modern reinvention. But what 2007's God of War 2 may have lacked in nuance is made up for in scale, ferocity, and excess. Chaining combos with the Blades of Olympus never felt so good as ancient Greece's pantheon of gods fell at Kratos' feet. Initially created as a Western answer to the character action genre popularized by Japanese developers, God of War confirmed its worthy position standing alongside those names with this excellent sequel. The idea behind Okami, that you're a god in the form of a wolf whose paintings come to life by using a divine celestial brush, sound off the wall, but it works. Okami is a beautiful, expertly designed, cohesive work of art. Its gorgeous, painterly style is more than enough to draw people in, but its charming story, creative puzzles, and fun action-driven combat prove to be unwavering pillars of radiance all on their own, making Okami a must-play on both the PS2 or more modern PlayStation consoles alike. It's sometimes easy to forget just how huge the Gran Turismo series is. The third game, Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec, was the biggest selling exclusive on the best-selling console of all time with over 14 million copies sold. The PS2 racing sim blew people away at the time with its unmatched graphical power, attention to detail, and authentic car handling. What could so easily be an overwhelming experience for those used to the arcade rough and tumble of Need for Speed, Gran Turismo 3 managed to lure in even the most casual of fans thanks to its intelligently designed progression system that ranged from fun test track challenges to concentration testing multi-hour endurance races. In an era where driving games were all the rage, A-Spec created an unmatched legacy, coming out on top as the best of the bunch.
So what's our goal?
To do our best!
Final Fantasy X is perhaps the best example of how the PS2's DVD drive revolutionized console gaming. Thanks to the disk's vastly higher storage capacity, Final Fantasy X was able to be both the first full 3D and fully voiced game in the series, resulting in an experience notably more cinematic than its PlayStation 1 predecessors. Combined with dozens of beautifully rendered cutscenes, Final Fantasy X's story is granted an enhanced level of emotion and intimacy. A vital thing considering the romance between characters Titus and Yuna that acts as the game's soulful heart. And yes, I did say Titus. This, along with rock-solid turn-based combat and a bright, fascinating world, make Titus's journey an unforgettable one.
In my restless dreams, I see that town. Silent Hill.
Silent Hill 2 is a disorienting nightmare of a video game that gets under one's skin and stays there for years after a playthrough. A more fully realized vision of its predecessor, Silent Hill 2 pitches its central, nightmarish town as a manifestation of its protagonist's mental state, embracing unreliable narration, multiple endings, and the uneasy juxtaposition of the mundane with the horrific. Its hold on your nerves can be best evoked with that famous call to action. You have, of course, no choice but to accept. This horror classic is so beloved that Konami released a Silent Hill 2 remake in 2024. But nothing quite beats the original.
I'm here for you, James. See? I'm real.
Hey, what's your name? Raiden. Makes up for the boring one my parents gave me.
One of the most divisive and brilliant games of all time, Metal Gear Solid 2 is constantly shifting what the player thinks they know and understand into something completely different. A game about the spread of misinformation that actively used misinformation in so much of its marketing, Metal Gear Solid 2 is thematically and mechanically ahead of its time, even though it initially turned off fans and critics by replacing series hero Solid Snake with the younger, more outspoken Raiden. It has, however, aged like a fine wine, and is still widely regarded as one of the best stealth games both with and without vampires ever created.
We've inherited freedom from all those who fought for it. We all have the freedom to spread the word, even me.
Resident Evil 4 was a magnificent shakeup for the series, ditching the more traditional bump-in-the-night haunted house antics for an over-the-shoulder shooting gallery in a sprawling Spanish village. A greater focus on action didn't dull the horror either. Resident Evil 4 is still a deeply uneasy experience thanks to its monsters, Los Iluminados, the Regenerators, and the Chainsaw Man are all unforgettable, and it introduced a strong sense of the weird that turned "what are you buying?" into an iconic phrase.
Got something that might interest you.
More of a puzzle game hidden within a giant boss fight shell, Shadow of the Colossus leaves you in awe well after the credits roll. Turning the should-be heroic affair of slaying giant monsters in the name of love into a melancholic tragedy in the subtlest of ways, it is an impactful and unforgettable experience unlike anything we had played before that time. Shadow of the Colossus's bleak world, clever puzzles, understated storytelling, dynamic music, and of course, giant colossi still stand tall above many, even today.
No victory, no defeat. The survivor will carry on the fight. It is our destiny.
Metal Gear Solid 3 took a step back from the high-tech and high-concept structure of Metal Gear Solid 2, and in doing so, gave us what is still widely regarded as the best entry in the series to date. Mechanically, Snake Eater expanded on all of the revolutionary systems introduced by its predecessor, adding new survival elements like hunger and camouflage, and presented us with some of the cleverest boss fights of all time. The later Subsistence re-release include further mechanical updates like a free-moving third-person camera, but Metal Gear Solid 3's strongest element by far is its story. A complex tale of honor and duty, of love and patriotism, one that not only works as a self-contained experience, but sets up and recontextualizes every other game in the series.
I hereby award you the title of Big Boss.
Welcome home, Carl. Glad to be back.
While Rockstar consistently found bold new ways to raise the open world bar, 2004's GTA San Andreas represented a leap forward like we'd never seen before. The game's vast, vibrant state of San Andreas, with 3 cities based loosely on Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Las Vegas, is the perfect playground for players to have protagonist CJ and his cohorts survive gang shootouts, high-speed police chases, and frantic sprawling heists on foot or in dozens of different vehicles. San Andreas also introduced RPG elements into the series for the first time, like tracking what CJ ate or how much he worked out and adjusted his abilities accordingly. While all the GTA games are classics in their own right, San Andreas is one of the most robust and memorable open world games ever made and the pinnacle of the gaming experience on the PlayStation 2.
Yeah, what you fools trying to eat? What about some tacos? Tacos again? Hell no. Chicken, man, no discussion. Man, I don't want no chicken.
And there you have it, the 25 best games on the PlayStation 2. Did your favorite game make the list? Let us know what you think the PlayStation 2's best game is and point out anything we might have missed in the comments below. And for more on all things gaming, stay tuned to IGN.